Hi, my name is Cindy Martin. I'm also known as Teacher's Brain. And in May of 2022, I was hit with the worst health year of my life. I had stage 4 endometriosis, which I had never knew I had endometriosis before. And after 2 months of recuperating from that, I got hit with stage 2 breast cancer. So the video you're about to see is of me while I was sick, and I'm still going through right now, I'm going through chemo, but the really, really bad part is over with. So this video was me while I was really sick, trying to help people out by explaining what I was going through, and hopefully anybody else who is experiencing endometriosis, which nobody knows hardly anything about, and or breast cancer. Hopefully this video will help you. This is the first of many that I would like to do because there is so much information that unfortunately I have learned and other people who are going through this have to learn. And I'm hoping that maybe it'll help somebody. So this is my story. The night before my 50th birthday, I had to go to the hospital for emergency exploratory surgery, which they found I have stage 4 endometriosis, and it had glued together all my body parts. Basically, I had to have my colon resectioned, I had to have half of my ovary removed, and my appendix was cement, they said. So they had to remove that. That was major surgery, and it took me about 8 weeks to recover from that. While I was in surgery, they found a lesion on my breast during one of the CT scans. So, of course, I already had major things I was dealing with, so they said when I feel better to go and have that looked at. So, hop a couple months later, go get it looked at, turns out to be stage 2 breast cancer. And so this is a little bit of my journey that I wanted to share with you. For anybody else who is going through this, I had maybe, for the endometriosis part, I had maybe a year and a half of major cramps, bleeding all the time. Sorry if it's TMI, but I want to help people so that they know how to identify it. I went ahead after I had a colonoscopy. They found something pushing on my colon that was causing me to have bathroom issues, and it turned out to be a huge cyst. They went to drain the cyst during that exploratory surgery and found that it was covered in endometriosis. They could not do the small surgery. They had to open me up, and they found a lot of mess to clean up. And I did have an ablation for about 5 months. I thought that had solved my problems because my cramps were gone. I had no more bleeding. I still had some issues, but nothing major like I had before. My anxiety went away. And then all of a sudden, 1 week, it was like bad cramps one day. Like it just got worse and worse until I was projectile vomiting and I could not get up. It was terrible. So that's how I ended up in the hospital for the endometriosis. And then 2 months after that, when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, a whole new, I felt like I had just been through so much, and then I get hit with the breast cancer. So this is how I thought I was going to spend my Memorial Day. And my 50th birthday.
Everyone, it's my birthday.
And I was so lucky to have so many friends who sent me things and supported me. I have a huge support system. I'm very lucky.
6 days in the hospital, but I have a beautiful view. Playing with some filters. Walking the halls trying to make some new friends and get some other stuff done. There's my new friend. He's great. Trying to work on some lung health. Eating ice chips is the only thing on the menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I can have gum. And I'm wondering if champagne is considered a clear liquid.
And my doctor told me that champagne was not considered a good clear liquid for me to have. So I had to wait till afterwards, after I was out of the hospital and feeling better, which I did. I missed a lot of events. I missed my 50th surprise party that people flew in for. I missed a vacation in the Keys. I missed my daughter's award ceremony for her IB program. I did make it to her graduation the day before I went into the hospital, so I'm very happy about that. So now we're going to jump forward, and I'm going to do this video in two parts. So this is going to be the endometriosis part, to the breast cancer, my mastectomy. The next video that I will make will be me going through chemotherapy and what happens after that, and my exchange surgery and all of that. 2 months after my surgery, I get diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And one of the worst things for me when it comes to dealing with all the cancer things is the incredible amount of appointments that pop up, and you have to make them, you have to make time for them. It's a juggling act, and I mean, it was overwhelming. 22nd, 6:30 a.m. arrival. Okay, and then what time does the port get in, or do we not know?
Well, the procedure start time is 8:30 a.m. Looks like your plan has a $1,000 deductible and $500 copayment. So the facility will call you. That pre-op is also going to be your 3 to 4 week follow-up that he wanted you to have when he saw you at your last visit. So I have that scheduled for November 17th at 2:40 p.m. and that's here in the office. So November 17th, 2:40 p.m. is your follow-up / pre-op over there. There's some pre-op lab work that we will need you to have done. It's just a CBC. You do not have to fast. I do see you've been having recent labs, but the CBC has to be within 30 days of surgery.
I think I just gave...
you had done, I think in October, are just outside of that.
I just did some yesterday.
It's going to keep hoping for under 20 cc.
Yes.
In 24-hour period.
Yep, that's what I'm praying for.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Just take it one day at a time. Keep your head up.
All right. Thank you so much.
Tough, but keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
I know. It's tough.
I'll get through it. I feel like I'm halfway there.
You're halfway there. You're halfway there. You're halfway there. Just got to get through this other part.
Yeah.
All right. One day at a time. You know I'm always here for you, girlfriend. I love you. Keep your head up, okay?
I know. I love you too. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. What really sucks is all the appointments. I mean, there's no way anybody, even if you felt good through any of this, there's no way you could work because you have appointments on top of other appointments. You have to move appointments because you have to prioritize what's more important. And so that sucks, but I'll get through it. Okay, that's what I had for before I got really sick on chemo. And I want to kind of give you a little bit about the mastectomy I said that I would talk about, and I never got to it. The signs of breast cancer. For me, I never felt a lump. I never had any pain. When they did go and do a PET scan, they found a size that they diagnosed me as stage 2. And it was a mass in my breast, and then 3 lymph nodes were affected. And I probably wouldn't have even went to my mammogram because I was current on it. I think I got my last mammogram was like 9 months prior. So I probably would have skipped my mammogram this year because of the major health issue I had with the endometriosis. I was sick of the hospital. I was sick of going to doctors, getting poked at all the time. So if they didn't find that lesion while I was in the hospital, I probably wouldn't be here today. It was a blessing in disguise that they found it when I was going through the endometriosis. Now, if you fast forward, my endometriosis 2 months before I started chemo actually came back, and I have two cysts that were just as big as they were the time I had surgery. They grew back within a few months. So I'm still dealing with that, and hopefully when I am done with chemo, I will be in postmenopause, and that will prevent some estrogen from getting to the endometriosis. However, a lot of people don't know anything about endometriosis, and endometriosis can make its own estrogen, so it doesn't need your ovaries to make them. So that sucks. But so I'm going to be dealing with that. But let me talk a little bit about the mastectomy. I went into the doctor and he said I could do a lumpectomy or a mastectomy or a double mastectomy. I decided to do a double mastectomy, and the reason why is because my sister had breast cancer a few years before I did. She had a double mastectomy, and her friend owns a breast cancer foundation called Libby's Legacy in Orlando, and she told me, Cindy, I am not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you what I see. And what I see is women who have lumpectomies come back to us with cancer again, and women with double mastectomies do not come back to us as frequently. It can happen, but it's much more rare. So that right there sealed the deal for me. So that's why I did a double mastectomy. Things to prepare for your double mastectomy would be to decide whether or not you're going to have reconstruction at that same time, because it takes a little more time to find another doctor that will work with the doctor who's giving you your mastectomy. And to decide if you are going to stay flat or if you're going to go ahead and have implants put in or not. Have a mastectomy pillow was my best friend. I used that mastectomy pillow all the time. Anytime I was like, ow, I'm in pain, I would get the mastectomy pillow and go, why didn't I do this sooner? Follow your pain meds to a T, everything they tell you to do. And if you are still in pain afterwards, ask for more. And they don't want to give you more because of the way that the opioid crisis is going on. But there is help available. So be your own advocate and have a spouse or a friend or a family member who can help you be an advocate whenever you're in pain. You will most likely, if you do a double mastectomy, you're going to need someone to help you keep everything low because you've got dinosaur arms and you can't really grab anything. You plan on a couple weeks of people helping you with meals and stuff like that. I will say my double mastectomy for me was less painful than my endometriosis surgery, where they had to resection my colon and took my appendix and my ovary, and so the incision in my stomach, it just prevented me from doing very much because everything is in your core, every movement you make. So I was definitely out for like 8 weeks for that. It did take me about 6 to 8 weeks to recover from the mastectomy, but it wasn't as painful as I expected it to be. And part of that is because I did follow the directions of everything that they say to do. Also, don't be afraid to join a mastectomy group on Facebook. It was, for me, a lifesaver because everything I had drains. So I had 4 drains, 2 on each side. They had to be milked. There's so much stuff you have to learn. And the group helped me so much. If I had a rash or something seemed crazy, I could take a picture of it and share it with the group. And there was always help in there. So don't be afraid to join a support group. Also, another thing is to try to prepare yourself as much as you can for the emotional mess that comes along with a double mastectomy, if that's what you choose. You do not look the same afterwards, and it's devastating. I'm not gonna lie, it's devastating. Especially for me, I had expanders put in and they were not filled, so it was flat like deflated balloons. It was just devastating when I looked in the mirror. Things are much better now, and they're going to be much better. It has been, I think it's been about 4 months since my mastectomy, and I have maybe another 6, 7 months before I get my implants put in from the expanders. So the expanders, I go in every week and they fill it up with a little bit of fluid, and then you get it to the exactly where you like it, where you're happy with it. You don't even have to tell them, like, I want to be a size B or a size C. You just go until you're happy with the size and everything. Then you stop and they will take it from there for your reconstruction surgery, the final one that you have done. I can't get mine done until after radiation, and it's going to be about 6 months after radiation because it takes that long for your skin to recover. That's what my doctor liked. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you need to really prepare for other than the pain and the emotional and the little things that come up that you have no clue about, and that's what that group is so important for. But I can't really think of anything else. So I will be making more videos because I would like to get specific. I had to have chemo, 2 different kinds of chemo. I'll have radiation in about a month. I'll start that. And then the reconstruction. And I will try to make videos for each one of them to help anybody else out that might need help. So thanks for listening to my story. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them as soon as I see them. Thanks for listening.